And a very good evening to you. Welcome to KBC Channel 1. This is Easy Friday. Of course, we'll be bringing to you the latest in terms of what's happening in the country and much more. My name is Shiksha Arora, and later on the interview, we'll be speaking to Mr. Seed about his journey in the gospel industry and, of course, what he's up to right now. He's just released his debut album, The Black Child, so that's something that we'll be discussing more. But yes, that's later on. For now.
All right, there's plenty to speak about, and the news has been shaping up today. You have the highlights in a bit, but it's an interesting day. It's the first day of October.
Absolutely.
And a couple of days marked on this particular day. Are you a vegetarian, Shiksha?
No, I'm not.
You're not, all right. Today is the World Vegetarian Day, so a good one at that. Do you love coffee? Well,
so.
Not really. My former boss, Bill Odidi, is a lover of coffee, so it's a day meant to celebrate people like him, the farmers, that's the coffee farmers, the roasters for coffee, and a whole lot more. So I could go on and on, but before then, we need to bring you up to date with the news of the day. Shiksha, take it away with the news highlights.
Absolutely.
We have done some bills which we submitted to Parliament, and a report also on the proposed areas of legal reform, and we are hoping that we shall continue engaging Parliament with a view to having some of these reforms in place.
Play your part. IEBC calls on Parliament to expedite laws to guide a seamless general election.
Contest has now been framed. It is between the coalition of political leaders on one side and the alliance of the people on the other side.
The contest is clear. Deputy President William Ruto says the 2022 general election will be between a coalition of leaders and the hustlers.
Viazi tunakuza kwa wingi, lakini mahali ya kuuza hiyo ni changamoto.
Plenty with nowhere to sell. As over 5 million Kenyans stare at starvation, food is going to waste. This in our special assignment, BANE of Drought.
Remember, you can always interact with us on social media. The hashtag is EasyFriday, at Shiksha Arora, at John_Kago_M. Talk to us. Tell us where you're tuned in from. And remember, the sign language interpreter is Susan Thuku.
We're also live on YouTube. You have your gadget. Just search KBC Live. You will find that there. Now, let's bring you up to date with the news of the day now. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission says Parliament must enact a number of bills to facilitate a free and fair election.
Now, IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati says Parliament must stand up to the occasion and play its role to rectify some thorny legal provisions highlighted during the 2017 general election.
Well, Chebukati is categorical that Treasury must find the electoral body adequately for, or rather must fund the electoral body adequately for a seamless exercise. We have this as our top story today.
Preparations by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to ensure that the 2022 general election is a seamless exercise is gaining traction. The Commission has been undertaking a series of engagements with different stakeholders on the roadmap to the general elections, and Friday it met political parties. And on top of the agenda was the need for cooperation.
And all this is in the spirit of collaboration. As a commission, we realize we cannot do the election alone. We need other stakeholders to come on board. And so we shall reach out also to the others we have not reached out to, so that we make the election a success.
However, IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati maintained that gaps such as legal reforms crucial in the elections are yet to be cleared by Parliament and must be done before December 2021.
The bills which we forwarded Parliament are on our website, and the information we gave is actual information. I've been invited to Parliament on Tuesday, 4th, I believe. Those may be some of the issues we shall discuss. I don't want to get into an issue of who has said this and who has said this, but we all have a responsibility to ensure that we have free, fair and credible elections. Parliament has its role, the Commission has its role, all stakeholders have their role. And so What has been legislated is known. What is yet to be legislated is known.
The Commission singling out deficit in funding, which it says is one major challenge.
And so we have a deficit of 14.5 billion, which must then be breached by the relevant authorities. So that is the position of the budget. The discussions are ongoing. There's a team from my office which went to meet the parliamentary committee, and we're also having discussion in National Treasury. As you know, we must be fully funded by the national government, and so we're looking forward to that issue being addressed.
IEBC has also changed the date for the party primaries, resolution of intra-party disputes, submission of names of candidates after party primaries to 26th May 2022.
The question of a nomination certificate that are presented to the Electoral Commission by the respective parties during nomination of a candidate, we were saying that it is important that we start the process early of getting the signatures, the bona fide signatures of officials who shall sign the certificate, so that we don't have a repeat where several candidates appears with the certificates of one party.
Kamchemenza for Easy Friday.
Well, it's all set for the 2022 general election. This is according to the Deputy President, Dr. William Ruto, who says now this election will put the coalition of a few political leaders and the alliance. He was speaking at his current residence during a consultative meeting with more than 350 United Democratic Alliance party aspirants.
Speaking at his current residence during a consultative meeting with more than 350 United Democratic Alliance UDA aspirants from Nyeri, Laikipia, Meru and Tharaka Nithi counties, Deputy President Dr. William Ruto claimed the 2022 election contest has been framed.
The contest has now been framed. It is between the coalition of political leaders on one side and the alliance of the people on the other side. It is about the people who want to prioritize positions as to us who want to prioritize job creation.
The DP claiming the political party he leads will forge an alliance with the people. He dismissed the ODM party leader's formation as one seeking to secure selfish interests. He further said the poll will bring those against the review of the constitution against those who back the changing of the economic model to uplift the poor.
It is them who want to prioritize changing the constitution. We want to prioritize changing the economy. It is them who want to prioritize sharing power. We want to prioritize empowerment of every business and every farmer.
He said the ultimate decision lies with Kenyans.
Now moving on, Orange Democratic Party leader Raila Odinga says the 2022 general election campaigns should be issue-based and a platform to give hope and not to cause divisions amongst Kenyans. He says at the moment, Kenyans and especially the youth feel disenfranchised and disillusioned as a result of unemployment. Raila was speaking on Friday at Chungwa House in Nairobi after receiving election campaign vehicles donated by Homeboys Entertainment in partnership with a Mombasa-based businessman, Bernard Waure. He urged Kenyans to continue adhering to COVID-19 containment measures put by the government to help stop the spread of the virus.
We are now in the midst of elections, and there is need to reach out to people, to communicate and talk to them clearly, and therefore this donation is not something that we take for granted. That they have been able to donate here 3 vehicles equipped fully with the modern state-of-the-art communication equipment that will enable us to be able to talk clearly and openly to our people. We say asante. We also thank Mr. Molo because, as he has rightly said, we are in the middle of a pandemic and we need to keep our people safe.
Now, African countries have been challenged to manufacture their own COVID-19 vaccines to address the shortage being experienced across the continent. The Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention says this is the only solution to ending vaccine inequality. Only 15 out of 54 African countries have achieved the World Health Organization's target of fully immunizing 10% of their population against COVID-19 by the end of September. WHO set the benchmark this year as part of a push for every country to vaccinate at least 40% of its people by the end of the year 2021. Purity Museo has more on this.
The World Health Organization says that only 4% of Africa's population is fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Seychelles and Mauritius have fully vaccinated over 60% of their populations, Morocco 48%, and Tunisia, Comoros and Cape Verde over 20%. Kenya has vaccinated only 4.92% of her population. The World Health Organization says that this illustrates how far the continent is lagging behind global vaccination rates. The Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Africa CDC, says manufacturing own COVID-19 vaccines is the only solution.
COVID-19 immunization should be considered a global public good, and vaccines must be produced in larger volumes, distributed according to ethical and epidemiological criteria, and supplied at no cost to users.
At the launch of the East African Regional Coordinating Center in Nairobi, CDC Africa Director General Dr. John Nkengasong challenged African countries to commit towards strengthening their healthcare systems as a long-term investment.
We have to collectively take our destiny into our hands if we have to guarantee the health security of our continent. And the Regional Collaborating Center must play a central role in this.
Health stakeholders, including health ministers from East African countries, called for collaboration and political goodwill within member states.
The Eastern Africa Regional Coordinating Center is mandated to support the execution of Africa CDC's strategic plan in the regions and provide technical support to the member states.
Kenya's Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kago noted the East African Regional Collaborating Center, to be based in Nairobi, will aid the fight against emerging and re-emerging long-standing healthcare threats.
Kenya is very proud to have been identified to host this center on behalf of the region. We shall play our part as a people and as a country to ensure that this collaboration center succeeds for our common good.
Purity Museo, Easy Friday.
Now, 291 people have tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours from 6,501 samples screened. According to the Ministry of Health, 282 are Kenyans and 9 are foreigners, while 160 are males and 131 are females. The youngest case is a 5-month-old baby, while the oldest is 100 years. The positivity rate now stands at 4.5%. So far, Kenya has recorded a total of 249,725 cases from a total of 2.5 million tests. In the last 24 hours, 308 patients have been given a clean bill of health, pushing total recoveries to 241,828. The fatalities have increased to 5,128 after 5 patients succumbed to the disease, all of them being late deaths reported after conducting facility record audits in the month of September. Globally, over 233.8 million people have tested positive, while more than 4.78 million have died, according to the Johns Hopkins University. Now, moving on to matters food security, where BANE of drought. 10 counties have been severely affected. Pastoralists counting losses, with herds dying in droves due to lack of pasture and water. Close to 5 million Kenyans are in dire need of food aid. On the flip side, food is going to waste in other parts of the country. What are we not getting right? This in the final episode of our special coverage tonight on drought ravaging parts of the country. Take a look.
As close to 10 counties grapple with the ravaging drought situation attributed to failed rains, food is going to waste in Nyandarua, Trans Nzoia and Narok counties. From maize, beans and potatoes, hundreds of farmers are just watching as their hard-earned labor go to waste with no market to sell their produce. According to a recent survey, 965 million kilograms of food went to waste or were left to rot in 2020. Annually, farmers in the country lose a third of their produce through post-harvest losses, translating into billions of shillings, despite the persistent food insecurity in ASL areas. The massive loss of food by farmers is largely due to lack of markets, poor infrastructure, and challenges in managing, storing, and means of transporting their produce to markets. In Nyandarua County, potatoes worth millions of shillings is going to waste, with farmers in the region calling on the government to buy the produce and distribute it to starving Kenyans. Charles Dirango, a farmer, says the region recorded a bumper harvest and potatoes are there in plenty.
Shida ile kubwa tuko naye sana ni ya soko. Market ndiyo imekuwa shida. Kwanza upande wa viazi tunakuza kwa wingi, lakini mahali ya kuuza hiyo ni changamoto.
He is asking the government to ramp up efforts to ferry the produce to those in need.
Kuna sehemu ziko na jaa. Afadhali wakuja hapa kwetu Nyandarua tununulie hizi viazi, nazi angalau tupate kitu ya kuweka kwa mfuko, tupate pesa ya kusomesha watoto.
Ni kitu tunasikia kwa ubali, lakini sisi watu wa Nyandarua tunasema serikali inasema kuna jaga la njaa, lakini Nyandarua County hatuna njaa hata kidogo.
Middlemen are now making a kill from the huge supply of such products. As a way of ensuring that farmers are cushioned from low prices due to production of surplus, Nyandarua farmers want potatoes to be included in the strategic food reserve.
Njaa yetu ni ya pesa kwa sababu tumelima na hakuna pahali tunapeleka mazao yetu ili tuweke pesa kwa mkono. Kwa hivyo serikali ikuje penye kuna chakula ipelekee wenye hawana.
At Wakulima Market, Nairobi's most popular fresh produce market, the script is the same, but with a different cast. Hundreds of trucks arrive with fresh produce every morning, but the supply is outweighing the demand. Many smallholder farmers in Kenya lack access to cold storage facilities and have no option but to dispose of the remains. They now want the government to come up with practical solutions to reduce food wastage. Ironically, as these farmers literally feel the pain of bumper harvests, thousands of Kenyans in the arid north have no access to food, relying on distant relief aid, a clear indication that ours is a country of parallels. Caroline Jenga for Easy, Friday.
Well, different kind of cries there. There are close to 5 million people who need food aid. On the other hand, there are counties that have food in plenty. They're crying out, the food is going to waste. Shame, shame. Are we getting the things right? Well, those are questions that need answers. Let's go to the scales of justice. And the Anti-Corruption Court has rescheduled the hearing of former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko. This is in regards to the DROUGHT cases to next year. Chief Magistrate Douglas Ogoti directed the cases be heard in the months of February, March, and April. That's 2022. Sonko is accused of collaborating with rogue county officials to defraud the county of public funds and asking for kickbacks from service providers to facilitate their payments. Now, he is currently out on bond in all the cases, which involve the loss of a total of about 378 million shillings.
follows. 21st to 24th February 2021, 7th to 10th 2022, 7th to 10th March 2022, and 4th to 6th of April 2022, all days starting at 10 a.m.
All right, and with that, it's time for us to take a short commercial break. Remember, keep talking to us. Tell us where you're tuned in from. The hashtag is Easy Friday. You can find us on social media, on Twitter at Shiksha Arora, at John_Cargo_M. Tell us where you're watching from, and we will definitely say hi later on.
Absolutely. Keep them coming, plenty coming. There's someone who texted me this in regards to the World Vegetarian Day. I'll share with that with you about that a bit later. This has to do something with Meru Embu. Does that ring a bell? Let's speak a bit later. Let's take that break here.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hii ya kibeti, bonyeza *811*962#.
Aje umefanya vizuri sana kunifikia hii simu sasa. Nimekuwa na stress kutoka asubuhi kabisa. Na ni huyu mtu ambaye alikuwa anapatiana majina ya vitu. Kwani hakutufikiria sisi watu wa Eastern Ukambani? Ni nani alisema ati wife kwa Kiswahili ni mke? Na akasema ati handbaka. Hii inabebwa na mwanamke handbaka. Ati kwa Kiswahili ni kibeti. Huku kwetu mke ndiye kibeti.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hiyo ya kibeti, bonyeza *811*962#. *811*962#.
Ovarian cancer is a cancer that affects women.
Sometimes the ovaries can be part of what we call adhesions. If a woman has had prior surgery, that would cause a blockage in the migration of the eggs into the fallopian tube.
How do we prevent or say control, ovarian cancer?
By change of health-seeking behavior, you can be able to pick it early and save your life.
Your assignment, knowing very well you'll get 2 out of 30.
Teacher, maybe you didn't hear the part that I said I paid someone to do it on my behalf.
Women, baka mpembeleze for nothing. If this was you could have already helped her.
Do assignment for who? Let me tell you, it will be his fault if he doesn't come for the assignment by the end of today. Yes.
You remind me of my grandfather Mbaka Tushangu.
Is that so?
He's Mugali just like you. He's a very stubborn man.
Come in. I know your mangoes are sweet, but not like this one. Son, where did you get this one? I must buy some for my sibling.
Classmates, every Saturday on KBC.
Welcome back. I am Cynthia Nyamai. Now to business news, where the government had to forgo revenue worth 318.3 billion shillings subsidizing essential goods and services last year, with zero-rated and VAT-exempt items topping the list. The latest tax expenditure report indicates that the government would have earned an extra 234.4 billion shillings had it not been for zero-rated or VAT-exempted essential goods. As Regina Manyara narrates, the list of goods qualifying for subsidies has been narrowing in recent years.
The amount the government has been foregoing to subsidize goods and services to boost economic activity or cushion citizens has been reducing in the recent years as the list of qualifying items narrow. In 2017, the government forego revenue worth 437 billion shillings on such subsidies. This reduced to 429 billion shillings in 2018, then to 318.3 billion shillings last year. According to the latest tax expenditure report, the drop was mainly driven by the decline in the domestic VAT occasioned by a review of the VAT Act geared towards raising aggregate revenue. Of the 318.3 billion shillings, most of the cash was on zero-rated and tax-exempted items at 151.4 billion shillings and 82.9 billion shillings respectively. Even though the amount foregone by the government on personal income tax has been increasing, rising from 3.5 billion shillings in 2017 to 4.7 billion shillings in 2019, it reduced in 2020 to 4.1 billion shillings on account of lower taxable income as a result of lost employment due to the adverse effects of COVID-19. On corporate income tax, the revenue foregone increased from 47.6 billion shillings in 2017 to 77.1 billion shillings in 2018, then reduced to 62 billion shillings in 2019 and 56.7 billion shillings last year. The government attributes reduction in 2019 and last year to a reduction in the amount of wear and tax allowances.
Young people seeking a career in the construction industry are set to acquire real job experience in an employer-led apprenticeship program launched by Swiss Contact and the Hilti Foundation. The apprenticeship system aims to develop a skilled workforce through a combination of an on-job training in companies and theoretical learning in vocational schools set up to meet rising demand for technical skills in the market.
The number of trained plumbers, painters and masons is less than 2,000 compared to 5,000 engineers and architects countrywide, according to the Kenya Federation of Master Builders, highlighting a general shortage of skilled artisans in the construction industry. The apprenticeship program now seeks to increase this number by supporting Kenyan companies to offer on-the-job training. The project will pilot in plumbing and electrical installation. Swiss ambassador to Kenya, Valentin Zellweger, says Kenya's strong economy and IT savvy workforce make it ready for such programs.
It is the strongest economy in East Africa. The country is dynamic and it is at the forefront of technical developments in sectors such as renewable energy, fintech, or IT services.
Experts say the young generation need competitive education, hence the focus of the program would be in enterprise development, vocational training and a need for collaboration.
The focus of education will be very strong on occupational skills, practical skills.
The construction industry in Kenya is currently constituted, has a large number of workers who learn the skills on the job. That is fundis learning the skill from their fellow fundis.
Institutions of higher learning churn out thousands of graduates every year. There has been a mismatch between the education offered and the skills required in the job market. Programs such as the Dual Apprenticeship Project are now seeking to narrow this gap by ensuring that learners have both the theory and the skills required for their jobs. Betty Kiptum, Easy Friday.
Thank you, Kiptum, for that report.
Now, the Capital Markets Authority has extended the provisional licenses granted to 4 coffee brokers by 30 days. The authority's chief executive, Wycliffe Shamir, says the 4 agents are yet to fully comply with the set requirements to start trading at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange.
Kipkelion Brokerage Company Limited, Murang'a County Coffee Dealers Company, Mount Elgon Coffee Marketing Agency Limited, and United Eastern Kenya Coffee Marketing Company are yet to meet coffee trading conditions set by CMA 3 months after being partially licensed. The authority has extended the provisional licenses for the 4 marketing agents by 30 days to allow them set up modalities for compliance. The 4 are yet to start trading at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange due to a standoff between the Ministry of Agriculture and Capital Markets Authority over licensing. According to the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya, licensing of coffee is a preserve of the Food and Agriculture Authority and not the Capital Markets Authority.
So there is nowhere in the law where CMA has been given mandate to license auctions. Then they should even license Ukulima Market. It's an auction. Let them concentrate on stock markets and the capital market.
Efforts by the Capital Markets Authority to have the 5 millers it had licensed to trade at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange were thwarted